there was a page on the Mastodon central network site saying here's some servers, and it would just kind of fire hose you with a million servers, and it was without any guidance. And that is the first hurdle. The second hurdle is that once you are on a server, finding the rest of the world that you want to create. Um, I'll start looking at you instead of at myself on the screen. Finding the rest of the world around you that you want to create is the next challenge. So if you're still with me and you're interested in getting hooked up to Mastodon, finding that server is the first thing. And when you go to different servers, the first thing you want to do is check the About page. And what the About page on that server does is it tells you what the basically what the philosophy is of that server, and what their rules are, what your expectations might be, um, things like that. And I went looking around for something for myself. I don't I can just kind of generic, but I also have had on Twitter a presence for my acting profile. And I wanted to find something that was going to be more geared towards performing arts and specifically into acting. And this was 2 weeks ago, and there was nothing to speak of. And that may have changed a lot in the last 2 weeks because probably 200,000 people have started to fly over from Twitter, if not a million by now. Um, and so what I did is I created uh, a server myself, a domain name, and the domain name is at masto.actor. And if you type into your browser, just into the URL line, just type masto.actor, you'll find it and it will pop right up. So I set that up. I set it up on an Amazon workspace. I set it up with caching, which is a way of making it run faster and more efficiently. And I had to boost the disk space at some point. It was to bring in to well, let me tell you first about the first challenge I did. So I brought up this server, but the server doesn't really know about the rest of Mastodon. I mean, it knows about it, doesn't know where you want to go or what you want to see because it can't show you everything. It's just too huge. Um, Whereas on Twitter, uh, it was defined towards ad campaigns and what your interests were and what they thought you wanted, not just what they thought you wanted to see, but what the advertisers wanted you to see. And so there were what they call the algorithm to bring things up to you that they wanted to push on you, not necessarily what you had asked for. And that's one thing that's different with Mastodon that I most appreciate. On Mastodon, I now see only the posts from people that I follow or things that they reposted or in Mastodon speak that they boosted. If somebody I know didn't boost it, if they didn't post it, I don't see it. There are no ads. There are no suggested posts. There are no anything. It doesn't do stuff that you didn't ask for. And for someone like me who is easily distracted, um, it's really important. It's wonderful to me. Um, so I set up the server, and of course, it's not connected to anything. So I'm trying to figure out, well, how do you get it to do stuff? And especially, I want to attract actors. So how do I get it to present stuff that's interesting to actors? Now, if you go to the website now, if you go to masto.actor and then you look at there's a you have to learn some of the Mastodon speak. There's a something on the right and it says federated. Let me bring that up uh, just so I can talk about it intelligently. So yeah, so if you haven't logged in, there's three columns. In the right column, there's an explorer, a local, and a federated. Now the explorer will basically show you nothing, and we can explain that some other time perhaps. But what you really want to see is the federated. Now, what the federated is it's basically things that the users on that computer have requested to be seen, that they want to see. Now, right now, I'm basically the only person on there. So what I had to do was I had to go and scour all the the biggest Mastodon servers, looking for actors and looking for ways to find them through hashtags, if you're familiar with hashtags, and just start collecting a bunch of followers. And then uh, uh, part of that, I also set up a special account called I Love Actors. And I went posting around to different places saying, if you're an actor, reply to this and I will follow you. So now if you go to the account I Love Actors and you see the followers, and there's almost 100 so far, you'll see I've collected 100 followers. Now, what that also does is now that I'm following them from this server, everything that those people post shows up on this, what's called a federated feed, which is the feed that shows from all the other servers. Now, when someone comes up there, they can see it. And of course, on my own account, I'm also following people that interest me, but I'm keeping that separate. On my I Love Actors account, I'm following everybody. So things are getting pretty good. And then I get COVID, which what's today? Tuesday. I've lost track of time. And uh, I got started having symptoms on Friday, so that's what we call day one as far as COVID quarantine is concerned. So I'm now on day 5, which is the last day of quarantine. But for days 6 through 10, I have to wear a mask around people. And you can't sit down and eat with people, which means that you can't have Thanksgiving dinner with people. So I have to skip Thanksgiving dinner. Now I could go probably, following the guidelines, go someplace, but I might not be entirely welcome. So, um, as you can see, most of the congestion's clear, and I'm feeling better, and I'm getting my sense of humor back, and I'm feeling better. Uh, so the next step, as far as getting the Mastodon for Actors website, Mastodon site up and running, is to get out and promote it. And I need to be able to talk to people intelligently about it. And I'm pretty new at it myself, and I want to start see what it takes to bring in anybody into Mastodon, into whatever server they may choose. And so that's one reason I'm here, is to just kind of uh, run this by my friends, and if that might have a passing interest in Mastodon. There are definitely groups of people that are going to be leaving Twitter in droves. It is just astounding. All the hate speech that was out, difference between Twitter and Mastodon, for example, that I mentioned, is you get to choose what you see on Mastodon. Twitter, it pushes stuff at you. So it can start, Twitter used to have controls against hate speech. And that's what got Donald Trump kicked off. It's what got Yi, is that pronounced? Got him kicked off. But they both have been allowed back onto Twitter, and that's just going to be too much for people. When I saw this bogus poll that Elon Musk put up, as soon as I saw that poll, I just said, I'm out of here. So anyway, reply in the comments, and let me know if you have any questions, and we'll do this with actual other people uh, talking. So have a good evening, and if I don't see you until then, have a happy Thanksgiving.